Hey everyone, this is Dream, and today I'm going to do a Mercy positioning guide, except this time for King of the Hill maps. Now, KOTH maps are a different beast of its own, only because once you get onto the point, it's pretty much chaos, 360 degrees around you, and there's really not a safe place for you to really hide. It's all situational. I'm trying to not make this, too comprehensive, because it doesn't really have to be. I mean, it's pretty much just go where it's safe. But I'm going to show you guys what I do on these maps, and hopefully you guys are able to take something away from it. I'm also going to provide the thought process on why it's smarter to stay here as opposed to over there, or why I'm moving from here to over there. This video can be very helpful for new Mercy players or Mercy players who just don't really know where to go on KOTH. Maybe you might learn something new. If you find it helpful or not helpful, please let me know. Now, as we all know, Dream is not a very good talker. Usually when I'm doing tutorial videos and stuff, I have it all written down on a script that I just kind of read off of. But for this particular video, I find it's just going to be a lot easier for me to just do a walk and talk video. So, alright, let's start. This is 𝐒𝐤𝐢𝐚𝐥𝐬. You can go through the left and right doors, but everyone just goes through the center, so I'm not going to even bother talking about those routes. Now, once you get to about here, is when you're gonna see a fire and a mercy, and that's when you alert your team. Once I get to about here is when I start to move towards this wall to hold a tight angle. Now, the reason why I'm here is because you'll be able to heal your team safely behind some cover, and the good thing is that there's holes right here where you can see through. You can get a peek at what the enemy team has, and also safely heal your team from here. And if there is anyone flanking behind, like a tracer or a reaper, you'll be able to hear their footsteps. And when they do, that's when you fly across into this room. Because now you have this wall to protect you from them, because you already heard them coming through this room here. I don't think it's safe to start off in this room, only because you just don't see, there's not a lot of visual information, okay? You don't know what's going on. And if there was a tracer and reaper coming through this way, you wouldn't be able to see it until they are right in front of your face. And at that point, you're pretty much dead. Even though there's a small health pack here, you're gonna die anyways. So only move in here after you know for sure that they're coming through here. Make sure you start there first. Now, this room is especially dangerous only because it's really open to the enemy team, and they can really easily shoot and kill you. Being in an enclosed area really frightens me. I need to know where everything is, so I only stay in here for a little bit to hide out. Sometimes I'll even heal from here if I really have to. I'll sometimes even heal from here too. The only downside of healing from here is that there is a way for the enemies to come behind you and kill you. This room can also be good to protect you from whoever is coming through this area. Now, this will protect you from that. So I guess this is one thing the room is good for. But then again, you can also hide behind here, and then you'll actually be able to see who comes through this side, and you'll be able to tell your team, and then they won't be able to shoot you or kill you because you have this wall to block you from the damage, and you'll still be able to heal and damage boost your teammates. I won't really be in this area unless a fight happens and I have to heal. I can heal the team from here if they're fighting at the enemy side, or if they're holding here, I can heal from here. Or if my team is fighting the enemy, I can also heal from here to my team. I don't really find myself back here, but again, there's a health pack for you if you really need it. I'm never really in this area unless there's a fight, like I said. If the team is also holding here, sometimes I'll be in this area because there's already cover here. There's a giant wall for me to hide behind. So I'm pretty easy. It's easy living from here once the enemy is coming back from their spawn. I can heal my team here. I can heal or damage boost a firing down at them. Sometimes the team likes to push a little further here. I'll hide behind this wall and kind of heal and damage boost from them, which you'll see a lot often. I don't really find myself in this enclosed area either because enclosed area frightens me. I like to know what's going on. Now, if you're on this side, it's the same thing for this side. I heal through here, I peek at the other team, except there's kind of a bush here, but you know, you can jump up and look. Heal the team here. Sometimes I'll heal from here, and if I really need a health pack, I'll kind of step back in here. I'll sometimes also heal from here. It's pretty much the same as the other side. If you cut it in half, it's pretty much the same. Now this little area, however, I do find myself in here a lot. And the reason why I prefer this area as opposed to that area is because there's holes here. I can see where people are going. I can see where my teammates are and what enemy is going to be coming in here. And there's also a small health pack here. And there's also a pillar here which I can use to my advantage to kind of heal my team or kind of escape from the enemy. Now, one of the benefits of this map is that Mercy will never die in this well. Now, if you have a Mercy that dies in this well, I kind of question the Mercy that kind of died in here, because Mercy can fly out or Valkyrie out depending on the situation of what's going on. But yeah, you'll never die in this well if you're Mercy. It's easy to fly out, unless you know you're the last person. But it's very rare that a Mercy dies. Some places where a Mercy can Valkyrie is up here, or here, or here, because you know sometimes there's a Widow and she likes to kill the enemy from up here. This can be a really safe spot for you to stay on if you just feel scared and you need a safe spot to kind of land on for a little bit. You can heal your teammates from here or who are directly underneath you. It takes a while for someone to really get you because you have some cover here, and the person who has to kill you has to come onto our side and climb up here or get up on their side on this rooftop area to come and kill me. But I don't really like to be up here that very much, because my beam can't really reach everyone on the point just nearby me. And then I can also land on here afterwards and kind of heal my team on the point. The good thing about here is that if my team does push up closer to their side, I'll be able to heal them from this side as well. And then I also have this structure thing to block them from immediately seeing me. So I have time to heal my team until they start pushing out here and see where I am. Another place where you can hide at is up here. Oh, any high ground really. You can hide here, or up here, or even up here. Now this is a really cool spot, only because you don't need, after Valkyrie you need a safe spot to hide. Well, say that this is our side and the enemy side is on that side. You can really kind of, you know, squeeze into this little corner of this building and kind of heal and damage boost the Pharah flying around. Or you can kind of heal whoever's beneath you. And if you need to get to the other side for some reason, you just jump over. There you go. You can heal again whoever is underneath you and damage boost the Pharah. If you want to go back, jump again, and it's a pretty good spot. No one can really kill you. I mean, of course, anywhere on the map, you're gonna be able to die. There's just no invulnerable spot, except this is probably gonna be a pretty safe spot if you're hiding from someone specific. And you have some cover here. You can hide behind, and no one can really get you. If you are going to fight on, if the team, now if our side is over here and the enemy side is over here, the safe spot to really heal from is up here. If your team decides to push further, it's probably safer for you to be on the high ground as opposed to being down at their eye level, because at least if you're up here, they're gonna have to go all the way upstairs to come and get you, and they're really not gonna go out of their way to do that. I mean, unless they just shoot at you, but you can always just come back in here and drop down and get a health pack. Now on KOTH maps, I really don't play anywhere past this line, really. So I don't really have any other positioning videos. I mean, I don't really have any positioning ideas of, you know, what to do when you're in this area, because if you're pushing out this far, it's not a good idea. You know, unless the team is throwing and they're just kind of firing from there. But really, you shouldn't be back here. It's just a bad idea. Alright, now we are in the Ruins map on 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐻, and this is a very powerful map for Widow and Pharah, so be very careful on this map. Make sure you hold a lot of tight angles before you know what they really have on their team, because any pick, any early Mercy pick is very detrimental to the team, so be very careful with that. I make my way through. Once I get to about here, you could kind of see if they have like a Pharah or Mercy. That's when I kind of make my way here to block myself from here. I hold my tight angle, let my team go through, and then I fly across. It depends on where the team is going, but if they go this way, I'll kind of hold here, and then when they make it here, that's when I fly through, and I hold here and heal who's ever heal my teammate that are on the point. Oh god, I'm terrible at talking. Or I heal and damage boost whoever is on here and firing at the team. Now this is safe because I have 2 pillars, and also this thing where I can crouch behind if I don't want to take any damage. Although if they do have a Widow, it's very dangerous for you to peek here. But if you really have to, you can. Or else you can go into this room, and the Widow won't be able to kill you from here because she'll be on the other side of this wall. Unless she is cocky and she stands on top of that to kill you. But then again, you can just, make use of this pillar. But I think she'll be able to kill you by clipping your wings or something like that. But you can heal your teammates from here as well. Now, if you feel, super scared, you can also drop down here and she won't be able to get you at all. And you'll be able to safely heal and damage boost your teammates. Of course. Unless she's right here, of course. Now, say you cap the point. You can be safe by hiding here and healing and damage boosting your teammates. Sometimes you'll have teammates here shooting, or like a tank here, or another tank over here. Now, sometimes the team likes to go here just because there's a large pack that everyone's fighting for there. I'll play around this bush and heal and damage boost my teammates, or around this pillar. The one I find this to be the most useful one for healing people on the point without taking too much damage. Now, if your team gets the point and they're holding up here, you get a nice wall thing to hide behind, and you can heal and damage boost from there. The only thing is that you don't know how close the enemy is going to be until they're right here and right here, and then by that time it's going to be way too dangerous for you. So make sure you pay close attention to how your teammates are moving. If they're backing off, you should really be backing off as well. Now, I really don't, again, I don't find myself in these closed areas. I also don't find myself in there either, so I don't know what to tell you, except for, hold tight angles and don't get killed. Now, there are also games where they push up even more and you're in this area. I don't think this area out here would be safe at all for you as Mercy. As far as I go, I would be the imaginary line for Mercy to not cross is about here. This is where you should not cross. Because this place right now is going to be way too open and you'll be able to die. Even if there's a health pack in the middle, you're going to die easily if somebody jumps on you. Now, at least if you're over here, you have some cover, and then also you can kind of turn back and fly over to your teammates. And also, there's one here too. Now, for Valkyrie, I really do make use of these pillars. Whenever I Valkyrie, I kind of just go really high and I hide behind one of them, and my beam will be long enough to reach everyone on the point. And I kind of don't even move, which is pretty bad. And I always say keep moving while you're in your ult, but for 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐻, I kind of just stand still and heal everyone on the point, just because they won't be able to get me, because they're not gonna run all the way over here and try to shoot me down. It'll be way too dangerous for them. You can also be up here if you really want, because then you'll still be able to heal your teammates and damage boost them as well, and no one will be able to come and kill you. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's really any other safe spots for Mercy to land on during Valkyrie. I wouldn't even think that's a safe spot as well. Alright, now last map for 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐻. We're just gonna go straight through. I'm not gonna even talk about this other route. There's just no need for it. Now your team can go either either up here or the other way. I'm just going to take the route that everyone uses, which is this way. They'll all kind of stand around here and look at each other until they get a pick. I usually hold here and heal the teammates. I'll even go in here and heal the teammates, and there's also a health pack for me if I really need it. Sometimes they'll want to push a little bit farther through, and that's when I'll kind of be around here or this area. I won't really fly in until they go really deep into this area. That's when I start to use this pillar, and this structure is pretty much the same on the well map. How there's a pillar and then a health pack here, and then there's like holes where you can see through the wall. So I'm not really scared about going in here because I can see everyone at least. Now, if your team goes up here, if you want to follow a teammate that goes up here, hold here, wait till they go over there, get into this room, and then fly over. Now, this area is a pretty safe spot to heal whoever is on the balcony. It is, but it's not really smart because now your team who is fighting down here loses the heals that they might really need. So that's why it's better to be out here, even though it's pretty open. You know, you have this here to block you from any sort of damage. So you can heal the team safely here without really taking too much damage. And then you can also heal who is ever on top of this balcony. So you get 2 for 1, which is good. And then again, if you Valkyrie, you can also get into this corner spot and glide over onto the other spot. I can show you if you really want. You see, you just jump over and you get to the other spot. If you have a far, you can also get up here as well. But the only reason why you should be up here is if the enemy already has the point and they are beneath me in this room, and your team is coming through to try and take the point. Because now you're at a safe spot. You can safely heal your team from up here, and the enemy is not going to come out and kill you, because if they come out, they're going to be coming out into your team. You can hide back here if you need to hide from a diva bomb, or if you're hiding from someone specific, you can hide back here. Now season 1, you know, I would use this spot to kind of hide out and then get like a 5-man res. You can also jump through here and, you know, heal in the heat of battle as well, and hop out here and hop back in. Now you can land up here after Valkyrie as well, because I know that teams like to hold up here and kind of rain hell down on the enemy team, and your team likes to hold here, killing anyone who's coming from the spawn. If you don't like being out in the open on that balcony, you can stand on top of this little ledge thing just in case if someone comes through this opening to kill you. At least they won't be at least they won't notice you standing on top of them, and you'll be able to easily get away if they do end up looking up and finding you up there. Sometimes I even use this spot to hold to heal the team if they're holding up here. Sometimes I'll be here healing the team because it works the same. The only thing is that the enemy can come through here and come out and kill you. Sometimes my team likes to hold here, and I'll be over here healing, because then at least if the enemy team comes over here, I won't be in their immediate eye level, and I'll have this nice plant to hide behind, and I'll be able to safely heal my team. If you don't like to hold here, you can hold here and still heal your team. It works the same way. Sometimes you'll find me in this area and kind of healing my teammates here and healing here, and because I still have a little bit of coverage here to hide behind. So you'll see me do that sometimes. Now, when you're fighting on the point, I usually won't be in here unless I have to fly in to heal someone. Otherwise, I'll be out here playing a behind cover. I'll use this sometimes to even make figure 8s around or go around just so I don't die. It really depends on what's going on. This point, also there's a health pack back here, so if I'm on the point flying around taking damage, I'll drop out here real quick to either regen or grab some health, and then I'll jump up and fly back in. And that's pretty much it to 𝐒𝐤𝐚𝐥𝐬. There's not really much to really do. Usually there's not a lot of fights that happen in here. Usually you don't really have to be in here. You can kind of be out here and heal and damage boost whoever is fighting who in here. But hoo. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for Leos. It went by really fast, only because there's not a lot of map to cover. It's pretty simple. You don't really have to use the entire map, only your half, pretty much. Alright, now we are on Lijiang Tower, the marketplace. I'm again only going to use the most common route that people use, which is straight through here. I don't really like to peek out too often, but if I do, I'll kind of peek out like this and wait till the team goes through, and then I'll play against this wall. Again, there's this staring competition that happens. You kind of stare at each other behind a Rhine shield until someone gets a pick. But I'll be behind this wall, kind of healing and damage boosting whoever. You can always use this. You can also use this lion to heal and damage boost. And if they do get a pick and start moving forward, or if the enemy team, instead of doing the staring competition, start moving straight to the point, that's when that's when your team starts to kind of head in there too. And you can use this line to heal them as they go in, and then once they start moving in, you can use this wall to hide behind. Now again, on the point, I don't really like to be like in the point. I usually heal from out here. Sometimes I'll fly in all over the place in the map, hiding behind tanks or the shield, but mostly I'll be outside healing the team so that you're not easily seen. So I'll be back here healing, damage boosting, and then also if a fight happens out here, there's a health pack too, and you can even step outside and kind of heal or hide out if you have to. And again, another benefit of Mercy on this map is that she'll never die falling off the edge. I mean, if you do die, you know, very questionable Mercy, but just use your mic and you'll never die. Because if you fall off, you'll just be like, hey, I need someone to fly to. They'll come to the edge and they'll pick you up. Or if you really, you know, if the situation calls for it, definitely use Valkyrie, depending on the situation. Now say your team has capped the point and they want to hold the choke. You can hold here, however, I like to hold out here, because the difference between here and here is that you can't see them, and you'll only be able to see them once they're here. At least if I'm over here, I can see them coming in, and I'll have time to figure out what I want to do before they come over here and kill me. If you're here, you need to have really fast reaction and figure out what you want to do pretty quickly, because once they're here, you're dead. At least if you're here, you'll have time to react. And you'll be able to see enemies who come from this door, or if there's enemies zipping by back here, you'll be able to alert your team and move accordingly. If you want to hold up closer and your team is holding up here, you can use this lion. Or you can use just this wall to kind of hide yourself, because there's a giant wall here. They can't do anything to you. And then you have this line to hide behind from whoever's showing themselves. Who? Oh my god, I can't talk. And if there's anyone who comes from this room trying to kill you, you can hide behind this line as well. Additionally, you can also use this side to heal and damage boost your teammates if your teammates are holding up close here, because once they start taking a little bit too much damage, they can back up into this large health pack, and you're not going to be alone. It's not like they're going to take damage and start backing off that way. They're going to back off to this health pack and back off to the point. So this is another place you can heal from if you feel safer being on this side as opposed to that side, because if they're coming back from the point, you know that there's just no way that anyone's going to come back here and kill you, unless there's a fire that comes back around here. You know, there's not really any place you're going to hide where you can't ever die, but the chances of you dying being on this side, being killed from behind, is very small. So this is a place where you can use. Now for Valkyrie, there's not really any much places to hide on the point. You just kind of have to hope that by the time you're using Valkyrie, your team has killed the enemy. Usually I land where it's safe. I land outside because at least I'll have cover, or I land behind a shield. It really depends, and it's very situational. Sometimes if I feel like it's too dangerous, now the higher the better is what I say, so you can heal and damage boost from in this room, but most times, but sometimes I like to go out here and heal my teammates because it's pretty much the same thing. Your beam is very long and can reach everyone onto the point, and it chain heals and damage boosts as well. So you don't have to be in the room with them. You can be outside flying wherever you want, and no one's gonna come out and kill you because they're too busy trying to take the point. So I'll kind of be out here. I just need to connect it to one person for it to chain to whoever. So I'll be out here kind of zooming around, or I can even stand here and kind of just heal whoever. But usually I'll kind of play around and heal through the little openings. Alright, now this is the control center. Again, most taken route is through here. I'm usually here. I'm healing and damage boosting my teammates from here. There's a small health pack for me here, and there's also a large health pack for me here if I really need it. But usually I'll be here. You can stand here if you want. The only thing is that you can get killed from behind if someone decides to zip over and flank you guys. You can be here, but I find that it's a lot safer for me to be here because at least if someone comes, I have cover here, and then if they zip into me, I can back out and get this health pack. Now if you're holding here and your team has killed someone, they're gonna keep pushing and walk their way onto the point. And if that's the case, I move this way and I heal everyone behind this wall. And if there's someone right here firing at everyone, I go back here, damage boost them, as opposed to coming out here and flying over. You can do that, but you know, I'm just a safe player. Now these are kind of useful too. If your team starts pushing towards them, you can hide behind this to kind of heal and damage boost them, because if someone on their team runs through and is on the point already shooting at you, you can use this to hide behind. Once you're on the point, you have this little structure to kind of to move around on, and then you also have this to kind of hide behind and heal, and no one can really see you unless they see your beam. Your teammates are going to be here, and I like to hide behind this little rover structure because at least if they come through, they're not going to immediately see me. And if they're coming through the choke and they're firing projectiles, I'll at least have some cover to hide behind before I back out back onto the point. I can also use this to heal my teammates if they're right here. I can heal and damage boost them. And also you can see if there's anyone who's flying around in the back. Now sometimes you'll have a teammate who likes to be here and kind of shoot and kill everyone. That's when I play behind this wall, damage boost. You can also heal yourself if you really need it. Now for Valkyrie, you can land here if you really want, or you can land up here, which is a very, very, very good spot for Mercy. You see the entire point, a lot of visual information. The only thing is that if you look around, you won't see who is immediately coming for you unless you kind of peek out a little. So be very careful for any flankers who try to kill you up here. But if you can get this spot, it's very valuable for you. You can heal and damage boost whoever's below you, and except for if they're over to the farther side, of course. But this is very good. You'll be able to heal and damage boost a lot of people on the point. Now, if the enemy side is on this side, you use this pod the same way as you would the rover. You just kind of hide behind it, not trying to take any damage. You'll damage boost your team, and if you start to take damage, you can back out. Again, you can use this wall to heal and damage boost your teammates from here. You can even heal and damage boost your teammates here as well. Alright, now we are on the last map of Lijiang, and holy cow, it was so hard for me to finally get this map. For some reason I kept getting the two previous maps over and over and over again, but I'm lucky to finally get this map. Now, again, the most taken path is just straight through in the middle and onto the bridge. Usually by around here is when you'll be able to see if they have a Far or Mercy. And then you guys can decide if you guys want to take the bridge and risk getting booped off, unless you have a Rhine or a Diva, or you can decide to go this way through the server room. Now, if you do take the bridge, I kind of stay here and make use of this wall as cover. You're safe to heal and damage boost anyone taking damage, and then your team will start to want to move towards the point. And at that time, if a fight is still happening here, I can either hold here and heal and damage boost. The only thing is that I don't know. If someone comes into this tea house room and comes behind and kill me, I won't be able to see that. So make sure you do just do a quick flick look into this tea room. I can damage boost from here, and then I also make use of this little advertisement thing. I can use it to hide behind while damage boosting my teammates, or usually I'll be over here on this side healing and damage boosting my teammates that are on the point, because I just have to take a quick second to look at them to connect, and then I can back it over here. And then if you do have to get on the point to fight, you have this center column thing where you can kind of go around and try to avoid getting taking damage. Now say you cap the point. Your team is going to want to hold here on their bridge where they usually do, and wait for the enemy to come out this way. Usually I find that the enemy doesn't come back onto the bridge. They kind of take that way into the server room. But if they are brave enough to come take on the bridge, then I use this wall as cover, and I kind of just sit out in the open because I don't know, I just feel safe here. There's no way that anyone can get behind me. If they do find a way to get behind me, I'll be able to see them right here if a tracer does come by and make her way around behind me. But I do just kind of sit out in the open and use this wall as cover, because then I can support my team who are holding here, and then maybe a Roadhog who's here who wants to pull them into the off the map. Once the enemy team starts pushing in, I can either use this to hide behind and support my team, or I can be in this tea room and support my team. Or I can be here supporting my team. It really depends. Now, let's say you lost the point and your team is coming back, and instead of taking the bridge, they decided to take this room. Usually I'll be here letting my team go through, and then I'll be last, then I'll fly across. You do get a little bit of coverage with this rock, so if there is a McCree or a Widow standing here wanting to shoot you, make sure you land here if you really need to, and then fly across. I don't like to stay in this room with the team because usually there's just a bunch of stuff flying through, so I make sure I stand here, because then I'm covered by this wall. I'm pretty much safe here. Even if they have a Widow or McCree there, they can't get me. So I will be in this doorway kind of healing and damage boosting my teammates until they walk through. Then I'll hold here, and then once they get through, then I fly through. Now for Valkyrie, there's really not any safe spots for you to land, but just like on the other Lijiang maps, I kind of just stay out here and connect my beam from the outside, because that's just safest for me. And then I fly as high as I can, taking cover behind the roof, and just using the walls really for cover. I can show it to you guys again.
Heroes never die.
I can be out here connecting to just one person, and then it'll chain heal, and then I can kind of peek in just a little bit. Or I can be in here connecting to one. I can be out here connecting to one. It's pretty simple. Again, just land wherever the team is holding. Hopefully by the time that you have finished using your Valkyrie, your team is on the team fight. Now, sometimes a fight can happen in this room. Now, I kind of treat this like Hanamura Control A point or the 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐴 Lighthouse map. You shouldn't be in here. You should be more outside here and just peek healing your team. Even though there's a large health pack there, I really don't see the risk of you walking into all that danger and just getting this large health pack when you can just be out here and safely regen your health. But other than that, this map is pretty simple. You don't really get to use much of it, and the invisible line for Mercy is probably right here. It's a pretty small map. But yeah, that's it for Lijiang. Alright, now Nepal. I guess just go through the mid. Usually the team doesn't start up here, they just go straight on to the point. And then like on 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐴, there's a face off where you kind of just stand here and shoot at each other until you guys kill something. Now usually the fight kind of starts once I reach this stair area. I don't really take cover at this point only because there's probably a giant shield blocking all the damage. But if I'm feeling kind of scared, then I kind of back off and use these two structures, just like the Hanamura lamps. I hide behind them and heal my teammates from there. And then usually there'll be someone on our team wanting to be on this side and try to see if they can get a pick. I do like it when they do that because then I get this nice wall to kind of hide behind, and then I can heal and damage boost them, and then also my team on this side here. Then once your team captures the point, or if there is a fight that is ensuing on the point, you can use this to maneuver around as well, and then you can also use these to maneuver around as well. Kind of like on the 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐴 maps, like the columns that they have. You can use these just the same. I really don't find myself fighting in these rooms, but if there are fights in these rooms, I don't go inside them. I stay out here and I just kind of peek out and kind of heal them from the stairway, because look how frightening it is to heal and damage boost from inside this room. It's really frightening. You don't see what's going on, and you don't have an easy way of escape. I also don't really find myself being out here and healing and damage boosting from here, but if the team is cocky, I'll be behind here. Now this is really just a simple map. I kind of find it to be the same as the 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐴 Lighthouse maps, where once there's a fight happening on the point, there really isn't anywhere for you to hide, except for out here. On the outer edges. Only when the enemy gets pushed outside of the point is when I'll actually be on the point to heal and damage boost. Even if it's on this side, I also make use of this to hide behind. Now for Valkyrie, I don't really land anywhere. I kind of just hope that my team does their best at fighting. I don't land up here at all. I just land back on the point or behind some cover if I really need to. Now for this map, it's really important that your team pushes on the side where the pillars are, and again, this is where the face-off happens. You know, they kind of look at each other and make their picks. Usually I'll be behind this cover, healing and damage boosting my teammates, and then when they get a pick, that's when I can fly onto the point. And if there's a fight happening on the point, I can use this cubby to hide in and heal my teammates. But it's very dangerous if there's an enemy in here with you. So I make sure I'm only in here for a very short time. Now, if I have a teammate up here, that's where I really would like to be. Only because I have these to hide behind. So I can heal and damage boost whoever's up here with me, like a McCree or a soldier. Then I can heal whoever's on the point, but my beam is not really long enough to reach you know, the farther parts of the point. So I'll be able to easily fly back and forth from the point and to the person holding here. And then there's a large health pack if you really need it, but I never use this health pack. Now usually the team holds up by the entrance. It's important that you just stay out of sight completely and just heal and damage boost whoever is at the doors. Usually I'll be here healing and damage boosting on this side. Now for Valkyrie, there really isn't anywhere for you to land. You kind of just have to fly as high as you can and just heal and damage boost your teammates on the point and use this to kind of hide behind. Like if the enemy's spawn is on this side and they're coming in through there, you just have to hide behind the roof of that and heal and damage boost your teammates. You can also do the same thing for this side. But usually for this map, if you just go super high, the enemy team will kind of ignore you. Alright, now this map we usually go top left. And of course, it's only smart to go up here if you have a 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐚𝐥𝐬, because who's ever last, whichever team comes up last is gonna die. Because we're all gonna be stuck in this room while the enemy team is going to be here. But let's say you do get up here at the same time. Let's say both teams have 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐚𝐥𝐬s and we both get up here. Now usually I'll be in this room and kind of healing, damage boosting my team from in here, and you know, it's really enclosed, I don't like that. So I'll come out and use this little cover that I have to hide behind and, you know, heal and damage boost my teammates. And then I'll kind of drop down here, because then at least if I'm down here, I'm out of their eye level, and they won't want to kill me immediately. So, and then your beam will still be able to reach your teammates. If there is, I kind of see this as the Hanamura map too, the Hanamura point. Like if a fight ensues, you really just have to be out here and play around walls, and then you also have this where you can hide behind and heal. Now I think nowadays in comp, we don't really usually hold out here anymore. We usually take high ground after we get the point, because the enemy team will want to push up here, and there is no safe spot up here. The only safe spot you get is that there's a wall here, and the enemy won't be able to kill you unless they step out. And hopefully you'll have a shield to hide behind, so make sure you utilize that. If you have a soldier or a McCree here, you can hide behind here and heal and damage boost them. And then for Valkyrie, you know, there's really nowhere for you to land. Because it is KOTH, there's chaos happening all over the place. You kind of just have to peek a little bit and connect your beam to someone and kind of just hang out on the outside. And that's all you can really do as Mercy here. I'll say a good spot for you to land though is up on top of the point. Only if you really need a safe spot to land and regen your health and heal your teammates. But once they head in, you won't have any line of sight, so you're gonna have to eventually drop down and heal them. Alright, now we have Oasis, which is the last map that we're gonna do for KOTH. I used to really hate this map, but after playing it so many times, I am starting to be okay with it. Usually the team will want to go here and do the face-off with the other team right around here. I really feel like after so many times of getting booped off, people are really scared to take the stairway. However, sometimes we'll have maybe a soldier or a tracer that wants to come up here. And if they do, I kind of just use this to kind of hold, to kind of hide behind until it's safe. Even though I can't really get booped off, you know, unless I'm not connected to someone, I just still am just cautious in that way that I play. So I kind of hide here until they get up here, and then I use this to kind of hide behind and heal whoever's on the point and damage boost them. Or if they want to push behind the enemy team, then I use this to hide behind and support the person doing that. Now, if the enemies start coming upstairs to try and kill you, you can safely fly back down to your team. Now, if the face-off happens here, you can hide behind these two walls to support your team. You can sometimes that fight happens in here, and I just kind of stay out on the outside and support whoever's in here. And then if we do win the fight in here, then I kind of like to stay in here and heal and damage boost my teammates on the point. And if I do take too much damage, there is a small health pack just for me. And then I also have this little cover here, and also this little cover here, so that if someone does walk in here to try and kill me, I can just kind of step out, and then I'll be safe. Now in the middle, it's kind of like the 𝐒𝐿𝐢𝐚𝐥𝐬 map, except you don't die in the well, and there's a health pack in there. So if you do take a lot of damage and you need health immediately, you can quickly drop down and then fly back up to your teammates. If you do end up on this side, you know, just use this to kind of hide behind. But really, if you really have to be on this side or that side, I'd say that side is a lot better just because there's health back there for you. And there's none here. Now say you cap the point. Your teammates are going to want to either hold this here or over here. Pretty much all you have to do is just kind of hold here, because you get two of these signs that kind of block this bigger doorway, because when the enemy team walks in, they're not going to see you standing there because this also blocks them. So if you stand right here, your beam is long enough to reach your teammates, and you're going to be completely safe with this cover. Or you can do like Hanamura, where you can sit here and heal and damage boost them from each side. The only thing is that you're not going to see how close the enemy is getting until they're right there and right there. And then by that time, you're probably going to be dead. So the safest spot for you to be is probably right here. Now for this map, usually we take the main way. And the face-off kind of happens around this area here. I usually kind of hang out here first, just to kind of see what they got, and then I'll support the team. And then once I feel it's okay, then I kind of fly in and support the team from here, because at least I have this wall to kind of block me from damage. And you can still kind of peek a little bit to see who's over by their doorway if you haven't seen their complete comp yet. Sometimes your teammates will even walk onto the point, so you can heal whoever is still out here fighting the team, and then you can also support whoever is on the point, killing the enemies, trying to cap it. Now, even though this structure has a large health pack in it, I really don't like being in here because it's enclosed as well, so I do my best to just stay outside and kind of heal and damage boost whoever's in there. There is a little bit of cover on the point where you can maneuver around if you really need something to hide behind, if something is trying to kill you. Now, if you guys cap the point, your teammates are going to want to hold here, and if they do, then you can support from right here, because then you get this amount of coverage. And if the enemy team does start pushing this way, you'll have a little screen to see them coming, and then you'll be able to react and fly over to your teammates, and your team will push into them. Now, if your team holds here, you should be out here, because if the enemy team decides to go the other way, I can alert them, and then they can come out and fight. Sometimes your team is just going to want to stay on the point and if they do, it's best for you to take high ground. I kind of hang out in this area because even though it's enclosed, there's a little bit of coverage for me, and I can support and damage boost the McCree or soldier or widow who's up here. And if you really can, make sure you can get this high spot, whether by Genji, Hanzo, Diva, or Pharah, Winston, just anyone who can get you up here, because it's a really good spot. It's almost equivalent to the spot in Lijiang Tower, the little ledge where McCree usually high noons from. And also that's a pretty good spot to land on for Valkyrie, as well as up here, because then you can use this as some cover from taking damage from people who are on the point looking up trying to kill you. So you can just quickly peek and connect your beam to your teammate and then kind of hide up here. And then you can do the same thing on this side as well. And your beam can reach a pretty good distance as well, so that's something. There is a small health pack if you really need it. And then these columns kind of work as the ones in Ilios, except they're a little bit smaller, but if you really need to, you can make good use of them and take a little bit lesser amount of damage, because something is better than nothing. Alright, now finally the very last map on Oasis for KOTH. Now we usually take the main way and we'll go over here. Now I would say the only reason to go right is if you have a Lucio, which you'll be able to get on the jump pad faster than the other team if they don't have one, which will give us an advantage. Now usually a face-off happens around here, and I usually like to stay in this room and support my team from in here, because there's a health pack immediately very close to me right there if I really need it. So even if a Genji dashes into me or something, I quickly step into it and fly out into the open with my team. And if you have dive, then it's even better, because they'll be able to they won't need the jump pad, and they'll be able to get you up on the high ground. So you can fly back up and down as needed, and then you can use this as cover as well. So you can kind of hide behind here and support your team, or hide here and support your team. Everyone's gonna be fighting around here where the large health pack is. Now the thing about this is that you don't really need to use the jump pad, because if one of your teammates gets on the jump pad, you can just fly up there anyways. It's really a good spot for you to heal from, because your beam can reach a good amount on the point. But really the most OP spot for Mercy to be in is right around here. And you can get up here by yourself by using the jump pad. But if you want a quicker way, try to get a Pharah or a Diva or a Winston to get you up here. But there is a way for you to get up here, and also a way for the enemy to get up here to kill you. So make sure you're always moving around and not staying in the same spot. And if you do see them get up here, take quick action and jump down, and maneuver your way around the dome. Now, say that you don't have time to get up there, or you don't have anyone to help you get up there. You have to play on the floor the same as you would up there. So just kind of maneuver around, really. The only thing is that there's a little opening, so that if you try to play Ring Around the Rosie around this thing, they can cut you off and kill you. You can use this to kind of hide behind and heal and damage boost your teammates. Now pretend you guys did cap the point and your team is holding up here. Rather than staying here and supporting your team, there's a danger that the enemy team could come around back here and kill you. Now I like to stay right here out in the open, maybe even over here, but I'm usually out in the open here because I can support my team, and if there is someone coming over here, I'll have a little screen to see them, or if they peek out just like a quick second, I can see them and I can tell my team, and they'll be able to back out and come back onto the point, and I'll have time to react, as opposed to being right here taking damage and then turning to look and being like, oh, there's a tracer behind, and then be dead. So at least if I'm here, again, I have more time to react. Now for Valkyrie, again, the same spots are just up here. It's a really good spot for you to be. This is really OP spot for Mercy. Or also here, if there's a fight happening right here, you can kind of peek out and heal. Peek out and connect your beam, and then kind of back out here and use this as cover. Now, say you don't have a Lucio and you guys just want to go straight on to the point. I just use this to kind of hide behind and support my team. And then usually the enemy team will have the high ground already, so I'll kind of hide around here and support my team. But other than that, you know, sometimes fight happens around here. You kind of just have to make use of whatever you can. I don't really find myself over here, but these cars can kill you, so please be careful. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have for KOTH maps. Please let me know if it was helpful, and if you would like to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!